Students, this is your biology class. First of all, we're taking review NCERT exercise page number 77 and page number 78. So first question is fill in the blanks. So according to our last lecture, which is climate is a topic. So according to topic, first of all, we're doing some practice question related to climate. So first one is the average weather taken over a long time is called climate. And second one is a place receives very little rainfall and the temperature is high throughout the year. The climate of the place will be hot and dry. So next, page number 78, indicate the type of climate of the following areas like Jammu and Kashmir, cold climate; Kerala, hot and wet; Rajasthan, hot and dry; and Northeast India, wet. So cold, hot and wet, hot and dry and wet are the climate of a particular area. So students, according to question 5, which of the two changes frequently, weather or climate? Means which one is suddenly change and which is the particular weather for a long time. Weather is the state of atmosphere at particular place and a time, where climate is the pattern of climate is the pattern of a weather observed a particular place over a long period of time. Hence, weather change more frequently comparison to climate. So practice question number 3.3 on SB4. So that is MCQ type question. Out of the given definition, which is the most appropriate definition of climate? So there are 4 definitions related to climate, which is the most appropriate. So first one is climate is the change in weather condition over a year, and second is climate is the average weather pattern over many years, and third one is climate is the change in weather pattern over few years. So and last one is climate represents the weather condition during summer. So suitable definition of climate is B option, which is climate is the average weather pattern over many years. So student, further we are going toward our new topic, which is polar regions. So temperature of a place, the temperature of a place depend upon intensity of sunlight. Means the place which receive more diffused sunlight, where the sun rays strike the earth at an angle, are colder in comparison to place which receive direct sunlight. Means where the sun rays strike straight overhead. So temperature of a particular place is depend upon sunlight intensity, and intensity is depend upon how a sun rays striking a particular region. It are directly striking or striking at an angle. So if it strike with an angle, so this area is colder comparison to which area that one is sunlight fall on directly. So I am going to share a slide. In this slide we see a earth having north pole and south pole. According to this globe, the south pole receives some sunlight and facing the sun, and other hand the north pole is completely darkness. So that means sunlight falling on a pole is diffused over a large area as compared to that on the equator. Equator is a representing in globe by a red line, red dotted line. Since the polar region receive diffused sunlight, they are covered with snow and are very cold for a most of the year. And the pole that is facing away from the sun is also in darkness for 6 months. So that is the reason why the north pole having darkness over a 6 month. So next one is polar region. The climate in polar region is extremely cold in winter. The temperature can go as low minus 37 degree. Do you think there are any animal found here? If so, can you name them? So students, these are those animals which lives in polar region. Polar bear, penguins, whalers are some animals that are found in polar region. So how do animals in these regions survive in such of cold climate condition? So answer is the animal are adapt to survive in conditions in which they live. The animal living in very cold climate possesses special feature to protect themselves against the extreme cold. Adaptation. So the presence of specific feature and habits which enable a plant or an animal to live in a particular habitat is called adaptation. These adaptations have evolved over a long period of time. So students, there are two ways in which animals adapt to climate of a place. So first one is physically adaptation and second one is migration. So first is physically adaptation, that is development of physical feature which enable survival in the home environment, and second one is migration. It is the process of moving from the home environment to different environment where survival is easier. It helps to organism to escape any unfavorable or harsh condition that may occur in its habitat. So going toward, so look at the some physically adaptation of animal that live in polar region. So that is adaptation of the polar bear. Polar bear display many different adaptations that help them survive in polar region. So think, what adaptation would the polar bear need to survive in cold climate of polar region? So that is, to survive in cold climate, the polar bear needs to find food and keep itself warm. And adaptation of polar bear is a strong sense of smell that help in locating the catching prey, or prey means food. So they find food with the help of their strong sense of smell. Adaptation of polar bear. So long curved and sharp claws help it walk on ice and catch or find out our food. Adaptation of polar bear, that is, white fur is not easily visible in snowy black background, so its prey are unable to see it. So two thick layer of fur keep it warm in the cold weather. And another adaptation is the thick layer of fat under its skin, which insulate the body, keep and warm. So lastly, we summarized our topic. The temperature of a place depend upon a amount of sunlight it receives. And second was, the climate in polar region is extremely cold. There animal found in polar region are polar bear, penguins, walruses are some animal found here. The animal have many adaptation which helps to survive in extreme cold climate. So that is the flow chart which is define or illustrate to adaptation of polar bear. So there are adaptation. First is strong sense of smell, and second is long curved and sharp claws, and third one is white fur is not easily visible in snowy background, and two thick layer of fur, and last one is the thick layer of fat under its skin. So every feature have their help to survive in extremely cold climate. So student, this is our polar region. Now further we shift toward our practice question. First of all, 4.1 and 4.3. The practice question 4.1 on your SB6. So fill in the chart below. Explain how the feature of penguin help to survive in polar region. So that is the white feather. It predator are unable to see it. Means the thick skin and layer of fat keep it warm in cold weather. So webbed feet with claws help to swimming in water and walk in snow and on ice. Wings shaped like flipper help to swimming in water. So short and stiff tail help in swimming in water. So adaptation of penguin: white feather thick skin and layer of fat, webbed feet with claws, wings shaped like flipper, short and stiff tail. All features which help to surviving in cold weather. So practice question number 4.3 on SB6. So what are the penguin in picture alongside doing? How does it help them? Can this be considered an adaptation? Give a reason for your answer. So there are 4 penguins and sitting in a group. So our answer is the penguins are huddling together in this picture. Yes, this can be considered an adaptation because it helps them to keep warm in cold climate of the polar region where they live. So that is reason why they sitting in a group. So student, if you have any problem in this practice question and your today's topic, you have to call me or text me anytime. Thank you. Happy learning.